church, be submissive. And I'm not disrespecting the church.
Yeah.
Like I don't have, that's a different conversation. But I was like, I need to learn how to stand up for myself. And I can't keep letting these things happen to me. I need to know how to fight. So I went to this mangy, gross boxing gym. I was the only girl there, right? Only girl. So all these guys trying to be cool. And I literally just started training my ass off. I was there for at least 2 hours a day. Before I went to school, I would go there. I was doing all the stuff, like the heavy bag work, learning all the footwork. I started sparring. I remember the first time they had me spar a girl. And I was like, why can't it be a guy? I felt bad that it was a girl, but I just
get all your
beat the shit out of her face. And I felt so bad. I honestly felt horrible. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, can I fight a guy next time? So I wouldn't feel
somebody
as bad.
that can take it just a little bit more.
But I remember just being like, wow, this feels really good. And obviously, as you learn more about boxing and like years later when I was actually training for a fight, I was about a year postpartum with my son, and I was training here in Utah. But I learned more about how boxing is actually more like yoga and less about being aggressive.
Yeah.
And that was really eye-opening for me because I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have to be calm in order to be precise and in order to be in control.
Exactly.
And so I think that I obviously went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
When I first started boxing, I was like, oh, I'm so angry. I have all these
And
issues.
then found
But
out
like
how
that
to
wasn't
fight.
it wasn't really smart. And I had to kind of come back to where it was like, no,
Calmer.
like you actually need to be calm and you need to overcome that human tendency to just get angry.
I think the reason why that's important is because when you're in that fight or flight mode, you sometimes don't even know what you're doing, you know?
Yes,
so
exactly.
it's important. That's
just
why
panicking.
being calm is important in fighting.
Yes, it is. And I learned that also in Hawaii because the ocean is the same way.
Yeah.
Like when you're out in the water, if you're in a big wave, the worst thing you can do when the wave takes you, like say you're surfing or just bodyboarding or whatever, if you are panicking and freaking out when the waves are holding you under, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like you're done. You're not going to survive that.
Yeah.
But when you actually relax and you wait for like the water to, eventually the wave passes and then you're able to float to the top. So kind of the best surfers know that you have to be calm and you're wasting energy if you're panicking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you have to be calm. And so the ocean is also a really great teacher of that.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how well you're prepared for any situation, right? There was a philosopher, his name was Archilochus, and he said, we don't fall to the level of we don't rise to the level of our expectations. Yeah. We actually fall to the level of our training, right? So in any situation where you're put into that fight or flight or even in the ocean or whatever, if you've already trained, right, you fall back onto that training. And if that training has been like excellent training and you've trained for almost anything you can think of, then guess what? You're going to be good in almost any situation, right? Yeah. That philosophy sticks with me. I live by it.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
It's really also cool. You can get that in the is it the Navy? The Navy SEALs say that same thing. But I really? First heard it from David Goggins. Yeah. But then I was like, where did he get that quote? Where did the SEALs get that quote? And it's actually Archilochus. He was a philosopher from way long time ago.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So we're getting to like 50 minutes, and I know you have a class that you're actually teaching.
Yeah. We're good.
So you're teaching like a kids class, right?
Yeah. Right now I'm
love it.
teaching kind of two small group training classes, a women's group, which we have like Tuesday, Thursday mornings, and then Teen Fit, which is Tuesday, Thursday, midday. So that's been so fun. this is our very last day. We just did basically a 6-week program because we're still kind of a small gym. So it's been good for us to know who's signing up and all that. But yeah, it's been so cool because I've been able to kind of see these teenagers.
How long has that class been going?
It started like the first week of June. Okay. So right when school was out. And I mean, yeah, I don't want to sound like an a-hole, but like a lot of these kids came in with seriously zero
No, yeah.
coordination.
Oh, yeah. No.
And you're just like, whoa,
That's fun.
I have
what
two,
am I going to do with this?
I have 2 youth classes that go 3 times a week, and I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, you're
There's
like,
some kids, like
wow, was I
especially
like that?
the boys.
How?
Some of the
yeah.
boys are like, you can't even hip hinge. Like you can't
Yeah.
even
Oh,
bend
yeah.
over and pick. Oh, I can deadlift anything. Like no, you can't.
Exactly.
With a back like that, no, you can't. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly. I just wonder what kind of goes through their head. Like if
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like, no, we've got a lot of work to do.
A lot
But
of work.
what's amazing though is how fast they change.
Yeah.
right.
It's like, holy crap,
Just
an
put
inch goes a
in a
mile,
little- yeah.
literally.
Yep.
So it's been so cool to see them building muscle and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like what the freak?
Yeah.
How
So
is it that
it's
easy for
awesome.
you?
Yeah,
You know?
I know, right?
It's like,
It's July what? Like
Or the 15th?
15th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure you've noticed some big changes, you
yeah,
know?
huge changes. Like you see muscle and like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a weirdo. Like, wow, your chest is looking huge, kid. Like,
I do.
Yeah.
I said that to all. I'm like, dude, you're looking yoked now. Look at those. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one kid. How old
Max.
is he? Max.
Dude,
He's
Max.
like 15
He's
years
15.
old.
He'll turn 16 this
And
year.
he, like, you should have seen him when he started going
Yeah.
to the John's gym.
He couldn't even do a
compared to
lunge.
now,
He couldn't even do a
like,
body weight lunge.
Oh,
he
I'm sure.
deadlifts like 300.
About 340.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
15.
That
he
is
can
so
he
crazy.
can pull a jeep.
Yeah.
Like he can
Whoa.
strap on,
Jeez.
strap, pull a jeep. I mean, the kid
That's
is like
Impressive. Yeah.
That's
he's
pretty
the
cool.
strongest 15-year-old I've ever.
Wow.
And I got to give myself a little credit. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started with him when he was like 12. So like I've trained him a ton.
That's
But
so cool.
that's like awesome that he already has that in his back pocket. Like,
Oh, yeah.
The knowledge of training and stuff like that.
Well,
Like,
and he helps out when.
Yeah.
So his mom, Lindsay, we need to get her on here sometime and tell her story. She lost like 100 pounds. It's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Awesome story. She's one of my
That's
coaches.
cool.
And Max is her son. So he goes to some of the youth classes when she coaches, and he's
Max
like
is awesome.
he's like the best with all the other
That's
youth.
so cool.
He's like, cuz he's like, I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like to not be able to move or do anything. It's like I used to be
Right.
the slow kid.
yeah, and
You
he
know?
was like a little bit chubby.
Yeah.
And like,
and he's still a big
jacked now. Yeah.
he's just big.
So that's someone that's bought in.
Yeah, totally
There
bought
you
it.
go.
And now he's putting me. He
He's
like
like the
wants
future.
to contest with me.
Yeah.
So he's like, when I turn 16, we're going to do a decathlon,
Aw.
10 exercises. I'm still going to demolish him now. He's still not as strong as I am, but when he turns 18, he'll be deadlifting 500 pounds. He'll just totally pass me up. I already know. I'm like, fine, we'll do it again when you're 18. But we have to add in like a box jump, a sprint, things I know I
Yeah.
can beat him at.
Get him a little bit tired.
Yeah, and then we'll do the heavy lifting, and he'll win all those. But
That's
it's fun.
awesome.
I love training the youth. That's
Yeah.
like some of my favorite, just because of the influence,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
impact you can make on them,
Right.
and you know how it feels to be that, right? So you can make such a
And-
difference in those
And
kids.
you personally also know like how it feels to be depressed and
Yeah.
like not have any hope.
You can
And
relate.
You can relate to those kids on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you have chosen the path of a trainer, because, I mean, that's my passion.
Yeah.
Purpose as well. And all of the experiences that you've gone through are obviously being utilized in a way to influence others
Yeah.
for better.
And how cool
awesome.
is it to have a way to do that every day, you know?
Yeah.
Like to motivate people and encourage people and just get them to be their best selves.
Because you never know what they're going through,
Yeah.
or what
Totally.
they've already had done
Yeah.
to them, or
Yeah.
what they've done themselves, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
And you can have that massive impact, and it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I love it. And obviously you guys both know this, but you know, just the symbolism of like building strength, being able to like physically build strength in a gym, it just always parallels like real life.
It does.
And you're like, you know, we need to overcome hard things.
Yeah.
We need to, and that's what life is, and that's that's good. That's okay. It can
Yeah.
be hard, but we get stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like really the whole point of this podcast.
Yep. Iron Will.
Iron Will. And like I got it tattooed on me the other day.
That's right.
That's
And-
I
awesome.
saw that. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a new one right there.
And
awesome.
so like I really believe in that, like having that iron will to get through the hard times and having the discipline to like keep going. It's really important.
Yeah.
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 Totally. I love that. I'm so glad you guys are doing this.
Yeah. I'm sure we have tons of other stories you could share.
Oh
with
yeah.
us. But what is one thing that you can leave our audience with? Words of inspiration, some way that you can help boost other people. What would you say?
I would say the biggest thing I could say to anyone is don't give up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No matter what you're going through, even if it feels impossible to overcome it, there is a way, and there will be another day, even if it's painful, even if it sucks, and even if you feel like there's no way life can ever be better. You're wrong if you're thinking like that, because there is always a tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you never know what you can make it through until you make it through that. And there are so many people who need you, who need your story, and you have no idea what the future can hold. I never thought that I would be able to have kids. You know, if I would have died when I was 17, I wouldn't have a family.
Yeah.
And thinking about my children and how much I love them and what they see in me and my husband, if I would have known how beautiful my family would be in 10 years, I just don't think I would have been able to give that up. But I thought life was over, but I was wrong. And anyway, even if it feels like devastation and you have, it just feels like there's no way it's going to get up. That's just not true, because life is always changing and there's always a way out at some point. And also suffering is essential.
Oh yeah.
I know that's dark, but it really is. It's helpful. And it's helpful to accept that when we don't think that there's supposed to be pain, or when we think, why me, why this, we're really like not able to appreciate it. And I think that the burn and, the disease or the pain, there's all a purpose for that. And that purpose is probably something bigger than we realize when we're being human.
Think of what a diamond has to go through to become a diamond. Okay. All the resistance and pressure and everything, or a pearl, or anything precious, right? We are all precious. And if we want to become more, there is a lot of resistance that's going to happen, right? A lot of resistance. It's essential. It's key to our growth and to us becoming stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. The greater your purpose, the greater your struggle,
Yeah. More resistance comes.
Yeah.
But that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Grace, do you want to,
We have a true iron will right here.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Well done.
I want to ding a button or something like that.
It just says iron will.
That's true. We should get one of those.
So, do you want to put out any of your information like where you work at and stuff
all
like
that kind of stuff, so people can follow and all
contact
that.
you?
That would be good. The best place to find me is at Fit Club in Salem, but I also have an Instagram, and it's just with Grace Fit with an underscore at the end. But you can kind of see the things that I'm doing right now. We have 2 groups, but I do a lot of personal training with different groups of people. But Fit Club is the place to find me right now. I'm kind of just digging in my roots there for the next little bit, for sure.
And their Instagram is just Fit Club.
Yeah.
I think it's like fit.club or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Or fitclub.salem. Or,
Utah.
no, fitclub.utah.
.ut. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Instagram's a good place to find me and them. But yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to check Fit Club out, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we'd like to invite everybody to like this, share it, follow us, subscribe.
Do all the things.
Do all the things, everybody. And invite people to listen to our podcast, because we really have some awesome people, amazing people. overcoming